you're looking to reach out to me after this about other platforms or anything, you can always reach out to me on my Twitter or just, of course, just ask me afterwards. But I'm the console ambassador for Waves Platform, so I'm not going to talk so much about that, but I really wanted to discuss the open blockchain and what it's good for, because we're hearing so much about how great the permission blockchain is. So we all kind of understand what's so good about building your own, Hyperledger and permission blockchain, and ultimately it comes down to how much you can control as an enterprise business. So, there's cost advantages, but pretty much it's really about being able to bring all these things in-house. So I figured at the end of the day, what we could do is just a little bit of a story taking us back to ancient technology history, which is in 2003. So if you all remember in 2003, if you wanted to go to McDonald's or Starbucks, that if you wanted to use the Wi-Fi, you had to pay for it. That was just the way it is. And that was the rules from, back then. And, the old way was they want you to buy your thing and get out as soon as you possibly could. So, if you recall the old McDonald's chairs that had like the thing that would dig into your back, just to get you out of their establishment as soon as possible, that's the way it used to be. So until then, there was an insurgent Panera Bread. So now we all probably know it, but back then in 2003, they started a rollout of free Wi-Fi across all of the restaurants in the nation. And they pretty much said, we're not going to require you to buy our Wi-Fi. You can just show up, log onto the Wi-Fi, and use it as long as you want. If you just want to get a cup of coffee and stay there all day, that's your choice. And they gave that to the consumer. And so I dug up this old review from 2005, and I know you all can read it faster than I can say it, but I'll say it anyways. I take back any unkind thing I've ever said about Panera Bread or any of its employees. Tonight I've sat outside the Strip in North Canton and worked while my wife is shopping. And you can kind of just feel how relieved this person is that he's able to just get his work done and not do a task that he didn't want to do, pretty much because of Panera Bread's approach towards free Wi-Fi and just letting him use the Wi-Fi on his terms without having to go through any hoops and jumps, and that Panera was taking a pro-consumer approach. So this is my only real picture, but you can kind of see in 2003 the stock chart till now of Panera Bread and how well they've done. Of course, it's not only due to their free Wi-Fi from 2003 to 2005, but even in the period of the highest carb hating in history, Panera Bread has obviously done pretty well for itself. And because they've probably taken these other pro-consumer approaches, instead of saying we need to control every single aspect of the customer, that they just say they let it open and it succeeded. So pretty much what can we learn? What's relevant about this is that when you as a business take the approach that what would I want as a consumer, that there's also these benefits that can accrue from going open, going towards a free consumer and pro-choice model. So, trust is dead. This is chapter 2. This is act 2. So, people right now, they don't trust anything. I mean, maybe you've heard all the speeches today. You don't believe everything you've heard. We're all deluged in information and misinformation. For a brand or a company to garner the trust of their customer base, you're going to have to work a lot harder than you used to. So I'll give you some actual examples. Is your food actually organic just because it says organic on it? Maybe it doesn't. You go to Whole Foods and you just trust Whole Foods that they're going to actually deliver the food that you're actually asking, and you're paying these huge premiums. So all these questions are indicative of basically where we are as a society, that we don't know anything. We don't have any centralized trust in any company or anybody. So I know what you're probably thinking right now. It's like, what does this have to do with blockchain? Okay, I'll answer that for you. Okay. Or Waves Platform, the firm that I represent. So ultimately, one reason why you want to move to the open blockchain versus building all your custom is that that's what your consumers want. Now, eventually, as the market cools and we figure out like which are the platforms that customers are gravitating towards, we're going to figure out where you can meet them, just like Panera met their customers and said, okay, here's the free Wi-Fi, you just use it. As long as you come here and you buy something, you're free to come by. So, in case you're curious, show of hands of who's actually aware of Wave's platform. I see maybe 20%. So yeah, I could tell you all the nice things, what's so great about Wave's platform. But if you wanted to really think about it, I would say that Wave's platform is the AK-47 of open blockchain platforms. So in that sense, it's simple, it's cheap, it's Russian, it's easy to use, it doesn't break, it's everything you've ever wanted an open platform blockchain to be. So yeah, it's all these things, and for those of you, and we're probably like 80% that don't know what Waves is, you can go to client.waves platform and just see if you have an online bank account, you're going to understand how a consumer would love to use Waves and interact on Waves instead of on some proprietary blockchain that they might not understand. So, you know, pretty much today is just a call to all these companies would be pitching you on how to sell their specific solution, that it can solve every specific problem. But there's a great likelihood that your problem is also another company's problem, just like we heard in the Hyperledger discussion, that developers don't like to just do the same things over and over and over and over, that oftentimes your problem's already been solved and there's somebody in the marketplace that's already solving it. So I work with Waves. I can't possibly understand everything that's going on in the world and all the new platforms that are being developed, but if you would like to ever reach out to me, I would be happy to put you in touch with the right person at the right company, and you know, based on whatever issue you're having, and then go from there. But as far as Waves platform, that's for those of you who haven't tried it and are interested in blockchain, it's probably the easiest way for you to understand.